American Graffiti is one of those movies that captures a time period to a dot. It's primarily devoted to pulling its audience into the screen and enveloping them in the atmosphere of a past time. It's a nostalgia-fueled caper through the final light of freedom to engage childish pastimes before growing up and taking on the pressures and responsibilities of adulthood. 4 years before Lucas released his first Star Wars movie, which launched him into the cinematic pantheon and brought him superstardom, he released a nostalgic love letter to his experiences as a young adult in 60s California. The movie is the basis for the coming-of-age movie in its most literal senses, set if you will in the end times. Summer's on its last legs, high school is over, and childhood is slipping away. And in these fateful times, the movie follows 4 characters through their night on their last day of high school summer, before they go off to pursue their respective careers. The character Kurt, played by pre-Jaws Richard Dreyfuss, somehow still the obvious lead, his misadventure through the night most compelling. Kurt, faced with the prospect of having to go away to an alien world for college, is having last-minute doubts.
But you're going away to school.
Maybe. What?
Same old Kurt. All the time we were going together, you never knew what you were doing.
His wander through the late California night brings him in contact with representations of what he could become if he stays, from bikers to humble clerk store owners. The inception for the movie came after Lucas's feature-length directorial debut, the interestingly titled THX-1138, a dystopian sci-fi on a society gone to extremes to suppress sexuality and emotion. Seeing how Lucas was looking for a new project, Francis Ford Coppola, the serious American Zoetrip, which had produced his prior film, challenged Lucas to make a mainstream-friendly film after seeing THX's 1138's cold, alienating approach to the audiences. However, despite the concept and motivation to make the movie being a dare, Lucas did not allow the quality of the film to perturb him. Instead, he focused on making the movie as he would any other. The movie, especially to more recent viewers, may seem to be set in the 1950s, but what is in fact set in 1962, with the movie's actual release being in 1973. Which may call up the question of why take a movie set in such a recent time instead of the movie's release date. It feels that in 2021, a movie set in 2010 would not be that much of a nostalgic attraction. However, the reason American Graffiti struck such a nerve with its audience is that in the 11 years between 1962 and 1973, the United States had gone on a drastic transformation. There is a scene where Kurt discusses how he dreams that one day he will shake hands with then-President John F. Kennedy. The scene is laced with the audience's mournful knowledge of how only the following year Kennedy would be assassinated.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
Kennedy's death was the beginning of the end for 1950s cultural innocence. In the 10 years preceding, the Vietnam War ramped up, Martin Luther King Jr., Robert Kennedy, and Malcolm X were all also assassinated. The economy crashed, crime rates exploded, hard drugs became commonplace, Watergate was exposed, and President Nixon bombed Cambodia, leaving his presidency in tatters.
See that over there, that 41? That used to be, believe it or not, the fastest car in the valley.
But this hadn't happened yet in 1962. Kennedy was still alive, and the most rebellious things kids could do was listen to Wolfman Jack.
All right, baby. Here we go with another call out of the stations. Can you dig it?
The beauty of American Graffiti lay in its ability to subtextually mention the following year's calling cards without spelling it out for the audience. The movie knows it's coming to a close. One of the ending scenes is the image of a car, the symbol of pride and beauty, an image of freedom to be admired, crashing into a ditch. The final scene's images of Kurt climbing into a plane, which seemingly takes off away from the innocence of his childhood, flying him away into a more adult future, seems to represent the changes that will start. This is prompted by the text on the screen telling us the fates of our 4 protagonists. John Milner killed in a drunk drive in 64, Terry Fields lost in action in 65, Steve Bolander becomes a local insurance agent, and Kurt Henderson becomes a writer in Canada. They all seem to suffer grim fates, particularly compared to the light enthusiasm of the movie, with even the living two, Kurt and Steve, seeming to be affected by the future's hardships. Steve's job suggested as he dropped out of college, with Kurt's Canadian residency suggesting to him to be a draft dodger. Like the Bond mystery girl says, her self-representation of 50's innocence, she's gotta go, but maybe she'll see you later.
Maybe you'll see it.
I really felt compelled to sort of document the whole experience of cruising and what my generation used as a way of meeting girls and what we did in our spare time. I wanted to document the end of an era, how things change, how one of the life passages, how you go from being a student into the real world, and you leave your hometown, you leave your family, you leave everything behind, and you go off on your own, and parallel that with what was going on in the United States at that time.
Hi, this is Luke. If you liked that video, please like and subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications about new videos.